Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Boscheman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive Podcast. In this episode, we're going to take a look at the numerology and the energy for this upcoming full moon that's occurring on June 14th, 2022. And so what I want to do, I'm going to do things a little bit differently for these moon readings ongoing. I'm going to take a look at the numerology and the energy forecast for the collective, which I highly recommend you listen to because it does, we're all a part of the collective. So we are privy to these energies, right? We may feel them. Have a listen to that. And then I'm going to break the energies down into each life path forecast so that you can kind of see based on your life path number, how this illumination may affect you, how you may feel the energies, that sort of thing. Okay, so this, of course, is a general reading. If you would like to take a look at your own personal energies and numerology, please book some time with me. The link for it to be able to do that is in the description box below. Okay, so before I get into the numerology, I went ahead and pulled an animal spirit card for this illumination. And very much aligned with the numerology, we received chameleon spirit. And so chameleon spirit's message is all about adaptation, camouflage. When you think about the chameleon, it moves sort of slowly, and its little eyes are kind of moving all around, just taking everything in, seeing what's going on around it so that it knows how to adapt, so that it knows how it needs to integrate into the situation, how it's meant to experience its environment. And so I think it's really important to mention that we do have a lot of 5 energy coming through in this at this full moon. And so change, adaptation, transformation, all of that is going to be very potent. And so I think that as we move through this illumination, through this energy, which can be at about the span of a couple of weeks, this isn't an eclipse energy, so probably a couple of weeks we'll feel it. Just try to embody chameleon energy, right? Especially if it's a change or a transformation that feels uncomfortable or that is unexpected. Just play like chameleon, take everything in, look around, and then adapt as needed, right? There's going to be probably a lot of need for surrender, a lot of need to go with the flow, that sort of thing. A lot of things that we need to release control over with this illumination. And so instead of fighting that, I don't know, anytime I've ever seen a chameleon, they just seem so relaxed and chill. Like they're just taking it all in, going with the flow, doing their thing and adapting, right? And doing what they need to do. Okay, so looking at the numerology for the collective. So this full moon illumination emphasizes the vibrations of the 5 and the 8. So it's very possible that collectively we could see major shifts or transformations when it comes to power and the balancing of power, shifts in resources and global financial infrastructures. So we may be asked now to be much more adaptable in how we spend money, how we make money, and where we place value when it comes to our purchasing power. So again, the 5 is all about change, freedom, freedom of expression. This is a big, fast-moving energy. So it doesn't want to be tied down. It doesn't want to be restricted. It's go big or go home kind of energy. And that coupled with the 8, which is a very material plane energy. It's very tangible. It's very about, again, power, money, business, resources, power dynamics, philanthropy, all these things, as well as intuition and a spiritual connection as well. But really, I think this illumination is really going to bring into the forefront a lot around change, adaptability when it comes to finances, resources, especially on a global stage. So you may see, again, power play, right? Things going back and forth around power and redistribution of power, where there's injustices, bringing justice to that situation. Could see that all kind of be playing out now. Supply and demand is a real force. And when we buy something, needed or not needed, we're saying we want more of this, whatever it is. So we may need to get creative when it comes to finances and our purchasing power to perhaps send a different message if we want to see some sort of a shift, right? So it doesn't make sense to get angry or frustrated at large corporations if we are constantly showing consistent support for them and how they conduct business, right? So by purchasing their products, we're saying we like what you're doing and we want more of this. So we always have a choice, and it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be an easy choice, but we always have a choice. And many times there are smaller businesses who offer similar products and whose values may be in greater alignment with our own. And so it may be a little bit more pricey. It might take a little bit longer to receive. It might not have that instant gratification. But there are options out there, right? And so we just need to take that power back and decide how we want to use that voice, right? Like how we want to use our buying power, and think about the message that we're sending when we make that purchase. A lot could come up now around, again, power struggles, reclaiming power, and not sinking into sort of victimization, meekness, or submissiveness out of fear. 8 and 5 energy together ignite the desire for expansiveness and sort of ultimate freedom. So anything that's trying to impose overly rigid or oppressive restrictions now will likely be faced with some level of revolt, pushback, uproar, that sort of thing. Personally, you may find at this time that certain routines or mundane ways of doing things begin to feel really sort of claustrophobic. So it would be very easy under this energy to sort of make big sweeping changes within your life. And I would say just, try to keep your head about you as you move through this energy, because when it calms down and you're only left, you're kind of left with nothing familiar at that point because you made these big sweeping changes, you may be wishing that you would have left something standing, right? So again, chameleon spirit can come in at this time and just kind of, again, just take a look around, slow your roll a little bit, and make sure that the things that you are releasing or getting rid of or breaking free from are things that are ready to be released and broken free from, right? Like, you don't just wake up one day and be like, I'm going to quit my job and because I hate it here. And so you just quit your job and you've got nowhere else to go and not the best financial decision or whatever the case may be, right? So it's very easy under this 5 energy to really get swept up in it and just make very impulsive decisions that when the energy sort of fades in a couple of weeks, you may be thinking, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that, right? I mean, the good news is that it's probably only going to be pretty potent for a week to 2 weeks. So any big major changes that you make are probably going to be things that you can kind of backtrack on if you feel you need to. But I would say just really take everything, just do an overview, make sure that what you're diving into or making changes for is what you want to be doing, right? And what feels right for you for a long-term potential commitment. So it could also be very easy to overspend in this period or overindulge. So allow your senses to be delighted without being gorged. And so trust me, you'll thank me later. You can absolutely 100% have your cake and eat it too. Just do so in moderation and you'll avoid getting a tummy ache. See what I'm saying? So be as flexible and adaptable as possible during this period. With 5 energy, change can be around every corner, and it may look different than what you had anticipated, especially when it comes to this 8 energy of business, wealth, resources, and power. So go with the flow while also paying attention to what the situation is trying to highlight for you so that you can make any necessary changes or adjustments that feel good for you. With the coupling of the 5 and the 8 energy for this illumination, think change, transformation, expansion, or restrictions. Remember, you've got the higher and the lower octaves of these energies. Moderation, enjoyment. Don't be so restrictive that you don't allow yourself to enjoy this energy. 5 energy is a lot of fun. It can be a lot of fun. It can be very social, very big and expansive and joyful. And so allow yourself the enjoyment, right? We don't always have to be so serious and sacred about things, right? So overindulgence, impulsivity are also possible. So again, moderation, moderation, moderation. Freedom could come into the forefront when it comes to money, power, resources, business, equity, the more tangible things in the physical plane. So you can make this energy work for you. It's all about perspective and driving your actions in the direction that you want to take them, right? Working with the energy. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the individual life path numbers. Life path number 2. So this is for twos, this is going to be very much so about taking the initiative, feeling that fire, and the passion to step out into something big, step outside of your comfort zone and really express yourself in a big way, maybe in a way that you haven't done before or haven't done in a while. This energy is really fueling your personal and creative freedom. So this might be a time where you find the funding or the resources to really come into something or do something new and innovative. This is going to be asking you to really create something that feels authentic to you, to really lean into your own creative juices and bring something to life from your beautiful, sensitivity, from your beautiful inspirations that maybe you have coming through your dreams, or maybe an idea just pops into your head. This is going to be a time to really pursue that if it's got passion behind it, if it feels aligned for you. This is very visionary energy with the potential for financial freedom. So take a risk. This might be a time where, again, maybe in the past you might have been a little bit more frugal when it comes to, again, taking a financial risk, spending your hard-earned money on something that may or may not pay off. I feel like this has a lot of potential to have some big returns of investment, especially if whatever this is truly authentic. Again, probably outside of your comfort zone, but really fuels a passion. So I do feel like twos sometimes can have a lot of self-doubt. I mean, humans have a lot of self-doubt, but with twos, sometimes that self-doubt will hinder you and from like taking a risk or doing something that's outside of your comfort zone or whatever. And I feel like this energy is really going to be asking you again to kind of like go big, take a big risk, trial and error. Your errors are not a reflection of, personal failure. They're simply just redirects, right? Like saying, okay, this didn't work, so try something different. And so there may be things like that come into play here where you're going to have to try a bunch of different things and see what sticks and then run with that. But don't be too frugal or rigid when it comes to your spending at this time. I don't really think, you'll have a problem with falling into extremes at this time. So just if it feels your passion, if it feels good, go with it, run with it, especially if it's coming from a place of sort of integrity or autonomy where, again, it's just like you have a vision, you have an idea, and you want to run with it. This is going to be the time to do that, and you're so supported with this energy. There's a lot coming in here for you all around personal empowerment and decisiveness. So this is going to be a time to stand up, decide what you want, and then claim it and go after it. No holds barred. Two energy is very sensitive energy and can most times take into account other people's feelings and what they want and how can I accommodate and all of that. This energy for you all is going to be more of sort of a self-focused energy, where again, it's going to be asking you, what do you want and what do you want to create? And how are you going to use this energy to create the vision, the goal, get to the goal that you want to get to? Even if it means taking a risk, even if it means splurging or whatever the case may be, with finances, resources, whatever, to do that. And this can also be something, again, where you need to ask for assistance to help you. But I would say make sure that you don't lose the creative vision, and make sure that you maintain sort of sole ownership over that. And then again, maintain the integrity of whatever it is that you're trying to create. So very powerful energy for twos when it comes to, again, personal and creative freedom and personal self-expression. So this is an energy where you need to stand up and stand out and not be afraid to ask for what you want and then claim it. So powerful, powerful energies for you all twos. Take advantage of it. Enjoy it. All right. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.